This park looks like any other, but it's not. Rather, this is a piece of land filled with memories. Memories of a boy who never spoke a word, never walked a step, never told anyone how he felt. He couldn't do any of these things, but then he didn't have to. On his memory, a house will be built. His house, Matthew's house. In October of 2000, Doug and Andrea Froese had no reason to worry about the birth of their first child. All signs pointed to a normal delivery.
And we went into the delivery feeling confident and had no clue that something was going to go wrong. He was in distress during the last bit of labor, and whatever happened, whether it was the cord around his neck, we've never really had clear answers with that. But he did suffer from oxygen deprivation during the last stage of his birth, and that's what caused him to have a severe insult to his brain and thus left him severely brain damaged.
I think it's like anything, you're kind of in shock. It really didn't sink in. It's so frantic at that point, and you're dog tired and whatever, right? So
quickly, a CAT scan was scheduled, and within a few days, Doug and Andrea were given the results. At least 90% of Matthew's brain had been damaged. Any hope for a normal life for Matthew was extremely unlikely.
I remember that moment as being especially heartbreaking. And they let us hold him without all the wires on him. I mean, his entrance into this world is what hurt him. So as a mom, I failed at my first job. And that's tough to take. Even though logically, I know that's a bit ridiculous. But it definitely, that still, I apologize to him quite a bit. Just because, wow, I didn't do so great there. But, yeah.
Fueled with little more than hope and faith, Doug and Andrea did what they could to give Matthew the best treatment possible. Despite the best care available and the love that only parents can provide, Matthew's situation remained severe. Doctors said that Matthew was one of the most extreme cases of cerebral palsy ever recorded.
Well, Matthew was cortically blind. His eyes could see, but his brain couldn't process any of that information. He also had a horrible curvature of the spine that compromised his organs, especially his lungs. They label him a spastic quadriplegic, so unable to have function of his arms or legs. He was tube-fed as of the age of 3. He had lots of respiratory problems, always struggling with his own saliva, and breathing and choking was a huge issue. But he could hear perfect.
Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle, especially the first 2-3 years with just figuring him out, and he was in a lot of pain and seizures and everything like that.
Yet through the struggles and through the pain and suffering, Matthew was having an impact on those around him, and his personality shone through.
Matt gave unconditional love, for sure. Someone who struggled every day just to, be. He still could muster a massive smile when you were caring for him, or a giggle when he just got out of the bathtub. And there's not a lot of people in this world that would smile in those circumstances.
I think he was a gentle spirit. I think he would have been the cool big brother. I don't think he was demonstrative or, aggressive. I think he would have been the cool dude of the family.
Although his parents continued to hold hope that Matthew's life would improve physically, they also recognized they needed to focus on helping him mentally and emotionally. So when he was about 5 years old, they began a concerted effort to improve his quality of life.
And when he went to Canuck Place for the first time, we've never felt so relaxed. But there's something about him being there that was just amazing, where we didn't feel guilty, we didn't feel like we needed to compensate people's time. It was just freedom. And I think we thought there needs to be more of that to other families.
Soon, the idea for Matthew's house began to take shape. The Froese family had already seen that helping Matthew flourish took a small army of friends and family, and they realized there needed to be a place locally to help children like Matthew have the best life possible.
The family can get a rest, go on a vacation, and the child can get a bit of a vacation with other kids like themselves, and it's just to kind of fill a void in a lot of people's lives where they just don't have the support that they need, and they're getting stressed out and tired and all that stuff. So it'll be a nice little home away from home for kids like Matt.
As exhausted as we felt, we knew there had to be 100 more families that felt the same way. And it's a really lonely feeling, helpless feeling. I think we can do better than that as a community.
With the planning for Matthew's house well underway, the Froese family was ready to take on this next challenge. But they would have to do it without Matthew. On August the 14th of 2010, Matthew quietly breathed his last breath and passed away early in the morning.
I'm going to miss Matthew's happy sound. When he was happy, it made our whole house happy. I think I'm going to really miss his hands. He had beautiful hands, and I love to hold them. So that's what I'll miss.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss just his smile. I think just his laugh and his smile and his gentle nature will be something that you'll miss seeing on a regular basis. That's for sure.
There's a lot about Matthew that's hard to understand. Why did he have to suffer so much? Why was his life so short?
I think when you spend 10 years hoping and praying for something and it doesn't happen, being Matthew's healing, you still look for a great purpose in it, and he definitely has a big legacy to leave. He's a hero, really, to many people, and I believe that this house will prove that. And I think one thing that has been really clear is the need to rely on others. Needing people is good, and working together is a good thing. And I think that's a beautiful legacy for anyone to leave, because we're blessed by others, and I believe Matthew's house will be a blessing to others, and that's important to me.